Hey, hey, hey. Hi, everyone. Pablo here from Unique Japan. How are you? It's been a long time, right? It's been a while since I've made a sword video. I just thought it was perfect timing. It's a beautiful day here in October in the UK, October 2023. Wow. Actually, I'm in the studio right here because I am packing up the TSUGUYOSHI TANTO. This was in catalog 38, beautiful tanto from the Chuawe school, right? Early 1300s, mid 1300s, something around that, Kariaku era, so 1326. And it's just gorgeous. And I thought, as I'm packing up, I have to show everyone this sword. And for full details, just download catalog 38. And you'll see it's UJTA055. So the swordsmith is Tsuguyoshi. This is Sayagaki from Kanzan Sensei, right? So I had to look back at my notes exactly when it was, but I think it was in the 1970s. And here is the sword, right? Beautiful sword. I mean, it's just gorgeous, gorgeous. Tsuguyoshi is a Jojo Saku smith, and also Owazamono or Ryo Wazamono in terms of cutting ability. So it's just not only a gorgeous piece from that era, look at that, but it's also friggin' sharp. I mean, all these swords are sharp, but some of these top blades are really quite something. What's wonderful about tanto, of course, is that they're, of course, generally signed, right? So let me get my pin action here. They're generally signed, and so let me just quickly show you the signature on this blade. I'm not going to go in full detail because, like I say, the catalog has it all there. It was mainly just a nice hello for you all, right? But look at that. Isn't that something special? Let's see if I can get that a little bit on camera. Bichu province. He worked in Bichu, which is neighboring to Bizen, right? And the main, the Aoi school is from that area, and Tsuguyoshi. I know it's not easy to see on camera, but can you imagine that? That's 1300s, guys, from the 1300s. I think that's just wonderful, right? People ask why so many holes in the nakago, and that's simply because different hilts over the years, such as this one, have the peg at different areas, right? So rather than making a tsuka to fit the actual tsuka as a hilt, right, to fit the nakago, they just kind of use the hilt, and then, oh, it doesn't match. It doesn't. The holes don't match up. Let's just make a new one. So, I mean, that's the practicalities and realities of what happened in that Kamakura, Nambokcho, and then later periods. 26 centimeters. It's just a typical sword that you would find from this time frame. In fact, the Connoisseur's Guide to Japanese Swords talked about exactly that. It's about 26 centimeters. I mean, it's described the sword perfectly. But, Genie kind of shines off this blade. It's very wet, right? Generally speaking, when you have a nice sword that looks kind of wet and it shines, it's usually, it's not dry. It's usually shows quite healthiness, and that's what you get with something like this. It's rather dark, actually, a little bit darkish, jigane. Anyway, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sword. You can spend hours, and I do spend hours with these puppies, So nice. Speaking of puppies, we have a puppy in the house. We just got one last Sunday. I'll be probably sharing images of the puppy in the next sword catalog. Anyway, I'll put the sword here, but the sword has Tokubetsu Hozon and also Yushuto. So Yushuto or Yushusaku is the top level from the NTHK, and NBTHK gave it Tokubetsu Hozon, right? So high level, it's a high level Tokubetsu Hozon, right? Big range with Tokubetsu Hozon. It's not quite Juyo level, probably because of the Nakago was shortened a little bit, but not much. but it's very close to that kind of level. And of course, TSUGUYOSHI has many swords that have reached Juyo in the past. But what makes this sword not just, delightful because of the blade, but also the Koshirae, right? The Koshirae has Tokubetsu Hozon as well. And those that know the NBTHK, they're very, very, they'll give away the Hozon, not easily. They're actually quite strict as well. But Tokubetsu Hozon, it's got to work for it. But when you look at the blade, actually, and at the hamon, and it's impossible for me to get it on camera with you guys now, but when you look at the hamon, there's like little, it's almost like uchinoke, but it's actually more of a, on first glance you would think, oh, it's a suguha type hamon when you look at this, but actually it's not. It's more of a notade with a little bit of gunome on it. And that gunome, those little waves, I think are the inspiration for this nami or wave Koshirae. But this is really where Japanese craftsmanship excels. But look at all the silver work on this Tanto Aikuchi Koshirae. I know it, images don't do it complete justice, but everything matches, right? Look at here the Kashida. See those beautiful waves? Remember Hokusai and the Great Wave? Look at that. Wave. Wonderful, actually, that the sword is signed, right? The Koshirae, rather, is signed here on the Koiguchi. That says Anju. Difficult to read, but Anju, okay. So again, photographs, download the catalog. Eric Bosick is our primo photographer, and he captured everything very beautifully. But that suggests that Anju actually made this whole Koshirae, right? He did all the silver fittings for this piece, right? Everything is here. Look at that. Except for the Kogai and Kozuka. This is Masamitsu. This is signed Masamitsu. And by the way, if any of this thing fails, if they think this is Ginmei or a fake signature on the Kogai Kozuka, it won't pass Tokubetsu Hozon. So everything has to be right. But it's just gorgeous here. Nice wave pattern here. And on the Kogai, this is called a Wadi Kogai, where it turns into, you got it, baby, chopsticks. Sushi, anyone? Let's have some food together. Anyway, isn't that beautiful? So Masamitsu made the Kogai and Kozuka, and it just fits together like that. It just snaps together. So you would never know until you but there's the signature on the Kogai. Beautiful, love it. And nami are waves, and then you have the chidori, like little birds. So look at these little birds that are flying. Freedom, baby, freedom. We need more of it. Anyway, here is the Koshirae. So I thought I would share that with you as well. A lucky client in the States has picked this one up, going to Tom. So congratulations, Tom, in the US. So let's take a look at the hilt a bit more. Again, you have the chidori, or these are cranes actually, long life cranes on the tsuka. Well braided, everything is in great condition. Of course, this Koshirae is not going to come from the era of when the blade was made, right? I mean, some people think that everything is packaged in one collective, but that's not true. This will come from the late Edo period, this Koshirae, right? So we're looking at late 1700s to early 1800s. This would be crafted. It's not realistic to assume that this sword's coming from the Koshirae coming from the 1300s. It would break, and pieces get separated, right? So I will pack this up today. Plenty of certifications. This is one of the things that makes, I think, UJ quite special, because not only do we have certificates for the sword and also for the Koshirae, but we have plenty of certificates on most of our swords for, again, here, Kozuka and Kogai. There's a certificate from the NTHK. There's a Koshirae certificate from the NTHK. These are Yushuto certificates. So he's got 6. Granted, that seems, it's probably more than the average, but 6 certificates coming from this, for this sword, right? Which is, it's wonderful to have that certification, helps the value of the sword. and also just the information on the sword as well, right? So that's very proud of that with UJ, and we're able to do that because we have a studio in Tokyo, staffed in Tokyo, and in fact we help people from around the world send their items over to us so that we can provide Shinsa certification services. So we can submit items that maybe you have for the NBTHK or the NTHK. Maybe you have some sword polishing that needs to be done. We can handle that. Sometimes Koshiraes rattle, sometimes all these little fixes, that are required. Of course, new shita saya for the sword. Sometimes sayagaki from Tanobe Sensei. We can provide services for that. New habaki for swords. We can do that. So all the work is done in Japan. You just simply have to send the sword or fittings or whatever it is to Japan, and we'll handle that for you, right? We have a couple staff members there in Tokyo, and I'm here in the UK to communicate with you. Anyway, final thoughts here is that catalog 40 is on the way. We're not far away. There's lots of blades coming. Many coming from the, looks like the Shinto era, but there's also something, one Kamakura blade here. And there's one from the Muromachi, early Muromachi period as well. I'm not going to spoil the surprise. We will send that out to all VIPs when the time comes. But I've got to hunker down for the next few weeks and get it done. But I'm looking forward to seeing you and your comments on Catalog 40. Let me know what you think. It's kind of a big number for us, 40. Wow. But we're very proud of the work that we do and the clients that we have, and your support over the years means a lot to me and the team here at Unique Japan. So looking forward to serving you. Let's enjoy Nihonto together, and you take care, and I will see you soon. All right, bye for now.